there's more Jalen Hurts drama to talk about. There's been some roster moves. Another player's been added to the IR. That and so much more. Without further ado, let's fly into it. First and foremost, Jalen Hurts, he was interviewed on 94 WIP and was basically explaining that the Eagles told him not to worry about coverages or however, and that Jason Kelsey took care of all that or however. Now that he's gone, he's excited, that he'll, learn all that or however, and that him having Jason Kelsey, you know, who basically called all the coverages or however the case. Same thing for Carson Wentz, basically, for the past at least decade at this point. He's been calling, all the protections and all that good stuff. But in terms of that, I mean, that makes sense. A lot of people are overblowing it, saying that it's some sort of rip towards Kelsey. It's not. If you have a Hall of Fame center and an organization tells you don't worry about calling protections or ever worry about getting the ball down the field, essentially, then I mean, it's not. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, say the whole Patrick Star meme or however, that makes sense to me. Like that's really what I'm sensing here. So I mean, me personally, I don't think it's a big deal at all. I mean, I think this year that's why Kellen Moore's been praising him. Everyone's been praising him for taking complete control of the offense or however, and I think that by saying complete control, I think that's kind of what they're saying is that he's calling the protections at the line, varying the plays if need be and things of that nature. So again, I don't think it's anything to worry about. Not gonna spend all day talking about that, but completely overblown, nothing to worry about. Or however, I mean, if you have a Hall of Fame center, I mean, of course it is gonna halt your growth a little bit because you ain't gonna worry about it. If you ain't gonna worry about something, and then eventually you do gotta worry about it, then and you could have worried about it from the get go. Then I mean, your progress was halted. Not to say it's Jason's fault or however, but having that privilege halted his growth. I think that's what he was saying. And I mean, I'm not trying to spin it or however, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm taking. That's how I'm understanding it. Is that having that privilege of that level of center, being able to call the protection, so all you got to worry about is just getting it down the field. That's a blessing. And for the most part, it worked. Because I mean, I don't remember the Eagles' O line being bad, for a while. But yeah, roster moves. Defensive back J.T. Woods was signed to the practice squad. He was a third-round pick in 2022. The Eagles released Marlon Tuipulotu Latu, or however you pronounce his name, and added Byron Young. He played 6 games last year, which was his rookie year, and he only had 4 tackles. The talent's obviously there. I believe it was from the Raiders, or however they claimed him off their waivers, things of that nature. But again, I don't think it's anything to worry about, or however, you know what I'm saying. Potentially he can grow and things of that nature, but who knows? Pretty sure he's like a defensive tackle, something like that, defensive end. But again, I don't think he's the answer. If a move is not made, then I guarantee you that that's who they're going to try to make the answer is a bottom barrel guy. Put Bradbury on IR. They also did that as well. Oren Burks was promoted to the 53-man roster. That's more like it. I mean, Bradbury, he doesn't even, I think he should just retire. Honestly, I mean, I wish him the best and all that good stuff. I mean, I don't think he can even make an NFL team. He's just that washed. If you can't cover, you can't do your job. You know what I'm saying? You're washed. I'm sorry to tell you, But next up, the captains were named Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Brandon Graham. Excuse me. Darius Slay and Jake Elliott. Heck yeah, I mean, I figured as much. I didn't think they'd, put any like the young guys or whatever, and so yeah, that just about adds up. Sounds like really nobody wants to go to Brazil, things of that nature. C.J. Gardner-Johnson says Travis Hunter can't play two-way in the NFL and dominate or however, like he is in college. RG3 thinks he can. I honestly like Travis Hunter and the Colorado Buffaloes. I watch a lot of college teams and honestly think, I don't know. I mean, I haven't made it to that level. I mean, CJ Gardner Johnson, he kind of knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? He plays in the NFL. I think he's a top 10 safety. So you know he's qualified to say. All respect to CJ Gardner Johnson. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? His intensity. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely qualified to say. So I mean, in terms of that, I don't know. We got to see it to believe it. Trey Hendrickson and Khalil Mack are potential options, or however. I know Trey Hendrickson, I believe from the Bengals, just asked for a trade. Khalil Mack could be, a little bit later move, or however. Hopefully before week one. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, but just wait and see," or however. Like my main, we'll talk. You know what? We'll get into that a little bit later, but for the time being, that is a potential move. Though those are some potential moves that the Eagles are capable of making. Have the draft picks, have the cap space to sign those guys. Nick Sirianni has a pretty high bar to clear, according to multiple sources, to avoid being fired. Um, I completely agree. I mean, after the way last year ended, I honestly think the only way he can keep his job is if the defense is good enough. And here's why. We already know the offense, or however he can't call a play, or however. But maybe he can make a difference on defense, or however the case, inspiring guys, or however, reverse I call it. However the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what we have isn't enough. We need more than just average. Getting to a Super Bowl isn't enough. Getting there isn't enough. We need to win it. We've won it, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatchamacallit. We've been there, you know what I'm saying? Like, multiple times or however. I'm pretty sure once or twice with Donovan McNabb, I was like super young or however. Um, because of Chip Kelly, I don't think we made it or however with Vic. And then yeah, and then obviously we made it with Doug Peterson and things of that nature. But overall, I mean we've made it and lost. We've lost to the Patriots. We've lost um obviously to the Chiefs in recent history. We've came close. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta win. Anything short of a Super Bowl is a bad year. I don't care. If you're getting sent home in the playoffs, that's a bad year. I'm sorry. You're getting sent home in the playoffs, bad year. Sorry to tell you. Oh, we went to the NFC Championship, got sent home. Oh, we went to the Super Bowl, got sent home. You got a ring? Bad year. Sorry to tell you. Nobody wins it every year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why it's so mentally hard to be an athlete because you have to, be okay, basically, that you're not going to win it every single year. Some people only do it for the money. I'm not going to speak on, who it is or whoever because I don't, know any NFL players like that. Um, but either way, yeah, Nick Sirianni definitely has a very, high bar, however, to clear in order to avoid being fired, in my personal opinion. Definitely agree with that. Shaq Leonard, according to multiple sources, Bleacher Report, CBS Philadelphia, I believe, they're saying that a Shaq Leonard reunion is possible. Not no, but hell no. He's garbage. He's washed. I mean, especially after a back surgery like that. No, I mean, I honestly think he's garbage. Um, Final thoughts. I honestly do think, we should get Trey Hendrickson and Khalil Mack now. Khalil Mack, I think he had like 17 sacks or 14 sacks, and then Trey Hendrickson had 17 or 14, something like that. Um, I think we should bring them in now. You know what I'm saying? Because then if the young guys are enough, then we still have Trey Hendrickson and Khalil Mack, and we can dominate on defense, give us the maximum chance. You know what I'm saying? But then if they're not, we don't get to make the trade later. You know what I'm saying? So if he can fleece for the offense, you know what I'm saying? Wasted a third round swap on Kenny Pickett. Invested wisely. I'm not saying nothing bad about it, but invested wisely a third on Jahan Dotson. If he can fleece for the offense, he can do it for the defense if he wants to. He can. But why wait to miss out? He already missed out on Matthew Judon and Simmons. Simmons only wanted 8 million. We still could have at least had like 12, 13 million left. We still have like 20 plus million in cap space. We easily could have signed Simmons, but he slacked. That's what it was. He must have thought that they'd be available later on, or in what you call Matt Judon's case, he thought it would be like a trade deadline move or something like that. I don't know. And the same thing could happen to Trey Hendrickson or Khalil Mack. That they could already get traded to different teams or however the case, and We'll miss out on them and then miss out on the Super Bowl. Why? Because Howie wants to slack and make bottom barrel moves and save money on defense. Besides C.J. Gardner Johnson and an overpaid Bryce Huff, I mean, who's really getting paid on defense? Oh, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, it's a valid question. That's two guys out of the 11. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are still in rookie contracts or however. I know money doesn't guarantee a good player, however, but I mean, the Eagles, if you play good or however they'll pay you. That's why they signed so many cheap 1 year guys. 7.5 million, probably like 3.5 guaranteed for Zach Bond. And then I'm pretty sure Devin White signed something pretty similar, 1 year, 7.5. That's it. That I mean, those are cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that they can resurge and be something that they never have been or haven't been in a while. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think the the defense, with the exception of Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter because they didn't really play a lot of snaps or however. But even then, it takes more than just Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. We need more than just them to play good. We need other guys to play good as well. And they were struggling against twos, threes, and fours. I mean, and people think it's gonna get better. I mean, that's delusional. Like I love Migos. I bleed green. You know what I'm saying? But the defense is concerning. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everyone says, "Oh, we'll get better in regular season." I don't know. Without better skilled players, you know what I'm saying? I honestly don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, what about Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Jacobs, Kyle Pitts, etc.? That's just the very tip of the iceberg of some of the talent we're going to play this year, excluding quarterbacks. What about Lamar Jackson? He has running ability. He is a threat. He is more than just a Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback or however you like he can throw the ball pretty good or however in the playoffs is questionable. I give you that in the regular season. He can throw the freaking ball, and then obviously he can obviously rush or however as good as anybody. Obviously not running backs or however he could potentially play running back, but yeah, he's pretty freaking good. And then he has Derrick Henry. We have to go against them. Say what y'all want about Dak. He is trash. Screw the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? But CeeDee Lamb in the regular season, somehow, some way, he gets fed. In terms of receptions, yards, and things of that nature. Regardless if he goes against linebackers or however, third stringers or however. I mean, that's basically our team is third stringers or however. I mean, they'll have a lot of quality, defensive players besides Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Slay's getting older, you know what I'm saying? Everyone else has to prove it, or has it been there in a while, or you know, something. Next thing is like I'm saying, the only cure for all that, or however, potentially, average or slightly below average secondary, slightly below average or average at best linebacker core. The only cure for all that is a good enough pass rusher. And before all the Howie apologists say, "Oh, how and who? Do you really want to give away draft picks?" I'm like, do you want titles or do you want what you call it? Do you want draft picks? I'd rather have rings. You got to pay money. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay your players. You got to draft good. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, they can't draft that good on defense. Kobe Dean's trash. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Heck yeah. You know what I'm saying? 2 out of 100. You know what I'm saying? Um, they let T.J. Edwards walk. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what pass rushes are available, Khalil Mack and Trey Hendrickson, both of them have 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 plus sacks last year. Trey Hendrickson, he's 29. Khalil Mack, I think he's only like 33, 34, something like that. Pretty sure he has one last year. Even if he falls off dramatically from 14, 15, or 17, whichever one was 17 or however, even if it's a little bit still 10, 11, heck yeah, we can use that. How do we get those people? Draft picks. Again, would you guys rather have rings? Or would you guys rather be ringless? Oh, we have draft picks, but we only have one ring. I love my Eagles, you know what I'm saying? But we only have one ring. We need rings. You don't put together a 226 million to two, or whatever the number was, a top 5 most expensive offense, just for the defense not to be able to stop a statue. That's too big of a risk. I've seen other people saying like, "Oh, don't play Cooper DeJean or don't do this or however that's experimenting or however." No, experimenting is letting a dog water defense drain all potential from the offense because they can't, stop a statue. That's the experiment. That's the 50-50 thing. I mean, I do not see why Howie's taking this big of a risk or however, not trying to fleece somebody or however, pass rusher, or however. There have been no reports or like, hey, how's been looking or however. What we have is not enough. Like in order to basically cure whatever worries or however we have about the secondary and linebacker core, we need a good enough elite, maybe not top 5, but at least top 10 pass rush in the NFL. Out of 32 teams, if we have a top 10 pass rush, heck yeah, everything else can be average or a little bit below, a little bit. If 75 overall is average, maybe a 73, 72. If 75 is average, like I think Zach Bond, he has potential. Zach Bond and Devin White together, they have the potential to be up to an 80 overall, which is touching. I think 80, like 75 to 80 or however is average or however within that 5 point zone or however, and then but either way it goes, I just think we need one more pass rusher and things of that nature. Let me know what y'all think. Would you guys say whether I have rings or draft picks? I'm picking rings all day long. Because, for the next year, you guys can have whatever year. Guess what? We're still champions. Nobody else won the Super Bowl yet. So we're still champions. You know what I'm saying? So to have that back in Philadelphia, heck yeah, no matter what happens, at least for that next year, Jalen, he's a Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? He's a Super Bowl champion, at least for that year until the next Super Bowl happens. Because, they always say, oh, it's the defending champs, or however the case, or until we get eliminated in the playoffs, or whatever the case may be. But either way, we at least need, from all this offensive firepower, we at least need to scrape one ring out of this. For all of the offensive firepower we have. Saquon Barkley, he's top 5. He was ranked number 4, however the case. And then you got Jalen Hurts, you got obviously A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I think they're both top 10. You got Goddard, you got Jahan Dotson most recently, you got Jack Staubach, pretty good on the block, pretty consistent hands, you know what I'm saying? Pretty solid player overall. A lot of weapons on the offense. Now the defense just needs a little bit more resources, just needs, a fighting chance so they can actually stop statues and, stop third string backups. I don't think, people that are, Howie apologists, really remember how bad the defense was last year. We could not stop a statue. On third down, I'm pretty sure on third down, we were the worst team in the NFL on third down. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I mean, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, they were getting a lot of snaps. I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, they need help. That's the point of me saying that. They need help. On the defensive line, they need help. Milt Williams, is he a Pro Bowler? No. Is he decent? Yes. Is he a respectable NFL player? Heck yeah. Is he worth being on the team? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is he good enough to get us to the Super Bowl in the defensive end on his part? I don't think so, no. Mm-mm. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, yep. Absolutely. Absolutely they are. They are absolutely good enough on their behalf to help get us there. They just need help. It's a team. It takes all 11 guys to help get a stop. All it takes is for an average quarterback to see one open guy, up, pop. That's all it takes. If all, you know what I'm saying? But if the pass rush is good enough, you know what I'm saying? The 5 guys in the front, 4 guys in the front, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if they're good enough, all the other things subside. But yeah, I think that's going to do for today's video. Sorry, guys, just love my Eagles. I want us to get more rings, and I'm tired of listening to people say, oh, draft picks, draft picks, draft picks. Screw the draft picks. We need rings. That's what we need. We need rings. Most good defensive players that Howie lets them walk. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, even though it was for 1 year, let him walk. T.J. Edwards, let him walk. That's what happened. Unnecessarily traded away Hassan Reddick. We still have $20+ million in cap space. He's worth it. He still could have got us 10+ sacks. Huff is not a 3-down guy. Reddick was. May have been booty and coverage, but I mean, hey, Vic Fangio figured out 20, 30 years of experience. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Like I said, I just love my Eagles, things of that nature. Yeah, I just really want to see our defense improve and things of that nature. And If we're struggling against twos, threes, and fours, I mean, like I said, I mean, Zay Flowers, you know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love, he's pretty mobile, you know what I'm saying? And man, I don't know. But yeah, until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Philly out. God bless. Peace.